Hello. I was inspired this weekend. I spent some time with my Aunt Kathy and she made a quiche. So I'm going to make a quiche. I love quiche because, what's not to love? There's a flaky pie dough crust. There is lots of butter. There's cheese. There's eggs. It's like so ooey gooey delicious. And so our quiche today is going to be Canadian bacon, broccoli, sharp cheddar, both white and yellow. If you want, you can do Gruyere instead of sharp cheddar, or maybe a little bit of both, whatever you like. We're gonna start with this crust, and because I have so much sourdough starter discard, we're gonna use that today in here. I am riffing off of a couple recipes that I saw online. I brought out my food processor. There is discussion on whether or not to use a food processor in pie crust making, but I say if you have a way of doing something easier than try it, do it easier. Easier is better, right? All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I have about 2 teaspoons of white distilled vinegar that I'm just gonna toss in here for a sec, along with sourdough starter. So this, I'm gonna do about a 3/4 of a cup. It smells so stinky in a good way. Oh, that is just shy. Don't worry, I have more. My sourdough starter, I still haven't named it yet. It is going strong. I hopefully can test it soon to make sure that it is ready to lift. And then we'll make some sourdough at some point. So I'm just gonna mix this up. I'm just incorporating the vinegar and the sourdough starter together. This butter is cold. We're going to use cold butter. And this is 1 3/4 cup all-purpose flour, a teaspoon of sugar, and a teaspoon of salt. And I'm just going to put this in the fridge for a few minutes, if I can fit it in here. Success. Well, I need this. So I'm going to pour this mixture back into my measuring cup, and I'm going to stick my measuring cup in the refrigerator because I'm going to use this bowl. Now I'm going to cut up 2 sticks of cold butter into cubes. Okay, that's a cup of butter, which is 2 sticks. I'm going to add the salt and the sugar to the flour. I'm going to stir that together real quick. I'm going to put this flour in here. I'm going to put a little bit at a time. We'll start with that. The key is we do not want to overmix this. So that's why we're going to do a little bit of flour at a time. We're combining this until we get what we would consider a shaggy dough. So I've added in the starter mix. This is done. Okay. I'm just going to flour my work surface here because it's going to need it's pretty sticky, but it has a shaggy texture. You can see that. It's kind of some lumps still in it. You want that. It's all good. It should smell tangy like sourdough. Okay, very sticky. Okay, I'm going to bring the rest of it together with my hands. Not kneading it, just kind of like getting it not sticky. Okay, it is not sticky. Similarly to what we did with the pizza dough, we're going to wrap this in a little plastic wrap. Just going to give it, through the plastic wrap, I'm just going to give it a quick little press, like this, into a generic circular form. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then this is going to go into the refrigerator for 2 hours. And then we will come back and we will assemble and bake our quiche. All right, I'm going to start shredding some cheese for our quiche. Okay, this is going to take me all day if I use this one. This is sharp cheddar. And then I'm going to also do a little bit of extra sharp cheddar. Who doesn't love cheese? For me. I'm gonna roll out my dough. Before I do that, I'm just gonna put a little flour on my rolling pin and on my work surface. The dough that we used earlier, I'm gonna cut this in half. Now this is cold, so I'm gonna have to work it a little bit. As we work it, it will start to be more pliable as the butter melts. On my pie plate here, I am going to lift this up and drop it over. Resettle it on top. Perfect. I'm gonna save this and use it just to do a little top. Not necessary for a quiche, but why not? Don't want to waste. I am going to.
I gave some Cheetos to the cat.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I don't think. Oh. And did he like them?
Yeah. I didn't actually give this to the cat. I just brought it here and said that.
You're a funny boy. We're gonna have a broccoli quiche, so I'm going to chop the stems off this broccoli and get it into small florets. I don't need to use probably all of this, so just a bit. Like the real green bits are going to be really yummy. Put those in my bowl with my cheese. It's all going to end up together anyway. Mmm. This is just Canadian bacon. I'm gonna do 4 eggs. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a touch of milk. Whisk that up. I'm just going to finish off my eggs. This doesn't look like a whole lot, but I am going to add a whole bunch of stuff to it. So I'm just incorporating all of the things that are going to be in the quiche. This is going to be a nice full quiche. Alright, so I've got my cheese and my meat and my broccoli, and I've coated it with the egg and milk mixture. I think I might actually give this a little more milk. Add some salt. Gonna add some pepper. Pepper on the top. Cheese. So I'm popping that out in the oven at 375, and I'll cook it for about, I'm gonna check it after 40 minutes. The real hero of this kitchen is Patrick Benedict. Every night after I cook, first of all, I should say, I have earned myself a reputation of being a bit messy. And I try to pick up as I go, but I'm not great at it. We're gonna be honest. Now, after I make a great big mess in the kitchen, after I finish these videos, Patrick Benedict comes into the kitchen, cleans up all the mess. We don't have a dishwasher. He just washes the dishes, like, by hand. That's how amazing he is. So, if you aren't familiar with Patrick Benedict, then you should visit his profile on YouTube. It's called Benedict the Bard. Also, he is on Instagram and TikTok, Benedict the Bard. Check it out. He is the best. All right, let's get the quiche. There she is. Broccoli, Canadian bacon, cheddar cheese quiche. Just gonna. All right. All right. How did we do? Oh yeah, that's very good. And that's dinner.